Hey guys, Damian from Bay Ridge DIY here. I finished the Ford Transit Connect van today. All the odds and ends are done. Every last bolt is tightened down. Took it for a test drive, make sure everything worked good. Charging system's working, everything's doing great. This was a really fun build. A lot more of a build than I thought it was going to be. We added a lot more than I thought it would do. Let me show you some of the features we have. I'll start at the back here and show you some tables, how everything goes in and out, the sink system, the drawers. Let me show you how all of this stuff works. I talked to the owner of this van and we had talked about having a cooking area for them when they're camping or on the road. We talked about it, not really a good idea to put it inside in my opinion. You have all your stuff in there. It's a really small area. This is only a Ford Transit Connect. This is really small. I do have the Max Air fan in there, but if you were cooking bacon or anything that had a smell to it, garlic, I think everything you owned in that van that wasn't in a bag would smell like whatever you were cooking. So we came up with these tables here. It's just a small piece of plywood, fits the mold of the door. Bent piece of conduit just to hold it in there, folds down when not in use. Clips in right here and right there. Gives a nice sturdy work area. I also did put an outlet right inside there, so if they want to run their induction top out here or anything, they can. Moving on to the back storage area. I built 3 storage areas. This one here is going to hold the awning. Built a nice bag for that. It's got the screen porch in it and the awning cover and the PVC pipes. Fits really good. You can still fit some more stuff in here too. These drawers are about 5 inches deep and 36 inches long. Same thing here. This one we don't have anything in there now. They're going to be able to use that for whatever storage they want to use it for. This one, if you've been following along on Instagram, you saw this earlier. This turns into a nice little outside dining table. Pops right in there, locks in place. You can sit here. The person that owns this van works from home, so they can travel and go wherever they want. As long as they have Wi-Fi or a connection, they can work from here. So this would be a nice little workspace for her on a nice day. On to the sink area. If you followed me on Instagram, you watched I built this big elaborate sink with storage, big tanks in it and everything. And I started looking at it about halfway through the build and said, I had a lot of time invested in that and I really didn't want to use it. It was too big and bulky. It took up a ton of room. It stuck out another 4 or 5 inches, which is huge when you're doing a van this small. So I reconstructed the whole thing. Built this small 1 sink unit. It's got a 5-gallon holding tank in it, an electric pump, plugs in right here, completely removable, a lot easier for one person to carry in and out. The water pump works on a pressure switch. So when I turn this on, it would push water out, and when I'm not, the pump's not running. I also have it hooked up to a secondary switch just so we can shut it off for safety reasons when you're unplugging it. Like I said earlier, the sink is totally removable along with every other component in here. We wanted everything to be removed because this is going to be her daily driver when she is at home. If she's got to haul anything in here, move anything, she can take everything out, put whatever she needs in here. Really simple. Set that aside. There's one hold down screw right down here. That, disconnect the pump and reach back here and there's a quick connect to disconnect the water. That's all there is to it. Comes out, easy to carry, just like that. Tank in here holds 5 gallons of water. You can fill it up right here. Really easy to fill up with just a jug, or you can put the hose right in there. So I designed the bench system for this, so this front bench will move up when you're traveling or need to drive the van. when you don't need to and you want to set it up for either the bed or just to sit in there and relax, what we have to do is take this seat, move it forward, slide this bench up, and find the holes for the threaded inserts that we put in. Get the other side also, and that's all there is. This piece also flips over for the bed, which I'll show you in a little bit. We'll move on now and I'll show you how the curtain works. When I first started the van build, I thought I was going to build a permanent wall here, kind of at an angle like you see in the utility transit connects. They have a nice cage here, hard surface. I thought it would be a really good idea. The more I thought about it, I really didn't like that idea. So I came up with nothing more than a packing blanket wrapped in some fabric. We sewed it on there, put some snaps on it. It's really nice because it's versatile. You can take it out if you wanted more room up front. When you're driving down the road and you want to keep some things back here, you can still reach back here. It also blocks all of the light from the back to the front. So if you're doing any sort of stealth camping where you're really not supposed to be parked overnight, you can't see any light up front. It works out really good. Let me show you how it snaps in there. You can see that we place snaps every about 6 inches across the top. Make sure to keep them tight. So you kind of have to stretch the fabric a little bit to get them in. These snap all the way across the top. The packing blanket acts as kind of a sound deadener also. In a sense, not too much, but enough to keep some of the sound out and give you some privacy when you're in the camper. You can see that with the divider in place, it blocks everything off real nice, gives it a nice room feel all the way around. Very easy to put in, very cost effective. It's a great DIY one. I didn't have to buy anything or build anything permanent in here. I think the owner is really going to like having this in here. Onto the side doors. Both sides are pretty much identical. I put a nice storage in here. It goes about 18 inches back. This is where I keep the power cord to hook up to shore power. In this van, I'm running two 100 amp hour batteries. AGM batteries, closed cell. They don't need any venting. That is run through a series of circuits. I'm not an electrician. I had to ask a lot of questions to my electrician friends to get this set up right. All my power runs up this piece of conduit into here and up to the control panels. I'll show you how all of those work right now. Okay, so now up to the control panels here. I have 120 volts coming off of a 2500 watt pure sine inverter charger. That powers this. This is the remote control panel for it. There's a control panel on top of the inverter charger, or you can buy this extra one for a few extra bucks. It really makes a lot of sense. Comes with a ton of cords, so you can mount it anywhere in the vehicle you wanted to. I also have a battery monitor here. It tells me how much I'm using, how much is left, how much time is left, how many volts, and how many amp hours are left on my batteries. 120 volt power up here with USB plugins for charging your phone or whatever. Also put in a carbon monoxide and smoke detector. Can't stress this enough, put them in. They're cheap. You can put them in, they're great. We also have a fire extinguisher down below. Safety is important with that stuff. If it saves your life, it's a good thing. If I'm running off of shore power, the shore power puts direct power to the inverter charger and it doesn't drain your batteries at all and still charges them. If not, it runs just off of the inverter pulling from the batteries. You'll use it up pretty quick. I wanted 120 volts in there because they want to run an induction top, use their laptops when they're working, stuff like that. So it's a really good thing to have. There's other sources for this also. This is a lot of power for a small van, but I think it's better to have too much power than not enough. One thing that was a must for the owner of this van was a ceiling fan. These Max fans are awesome. They can be used as like a regular household ceiling fan when it's raining out or anything like that. It'll circulate the air in here. It's got a forward and a reverse on it, or in and out. It's got, I believe, 7 different settings. It's got a thermostat hold. It'll hold it at 78 degrees, it looks like. And on off. Real simple to use. Turns up real quick. Opens this up. You can use it as an exhaust fan or an inlet fan. It will be very nice, especially on hot summer nights. You can turn this on when it cools down a little bit. It'll cool down in here when you're sleeping. Onto the bed. I knew I needed to make it so it either fold up or packed within itself, and it's still easy to take in and out of the vehicle when they want to use this as a moving van or to haul stuff around the house. I made it so these things right here will slide out. Pretty easy concept. This flips over just like that and is supported by those bins, supported here, and by hinges in the middle. This side right here does the same thing. This flips over just like that. You gotta make sure to put the bin in there. That centers there, and it sits just like that. I picked up a memory foam fold-up mattress. This will fold up just like this. It stores nice on the side when not in use, and pretty comfortable when you want to go to sleep. For the finish work, I did a tongue and groove ceiling. I put some 1-inch foam insulation up there, glued that to the top, and then put the tongue and groove over the top of that. As far as the walls, I got really good at the fabric store. We went with almost like a vinyl type fabric. Covered everything in that. It gives a nice clean appearance. It's really easy to work with. You can use a spray adhesive that adheres everything really nice. Spray both sides, stick it to it, and trim it off. I've got 2 sets of lights in here on different switches. These 2 run on one, and then the side lights run on another. They're LED lights. They take very little power. So that was the Bay Ridge DIY Transit Connect van build. Like I said, it was an awesome build. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys take something from it when you're doing your own van build, or I hope it inspires you to build one. It's time consuming, but you don't need a whole lot of experience to do this stuff. I hope you guys get inspired by this to build something. I'm glad you're following us on Instagram. If you're not, please do so. We have a lot of DIY projects coming up. We actually have another van build that we're starting right after this. A little bit newer van, a little bit less complicated than this one, but it should be a really cool van. We also do a ton of DIY projects throughout the year and just different wood shop stuff that I have in my wood shop that we work on. Please follow us on YouTube also. Subscribe to our channel. We post some videos on there, some DIY projects and tips and tricks. I hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, have a good one.